Good morning, student. I hope all of you are well at your home. So let's start today's chapter. Today we will discuss about your history, third chapter, the birth of Prophet Muhammad and the spread of Islam. So before we will discuss this, little bit you should know about the medieval period. So medieval period in India stretches from 8th to 18th century. And to understand the Indian history during the medieval period, it is necessary to know something about the world, because the other countries in this world also influence the Indian history, especially West Asia, then Central Asia, as well as the Europe. Next is the advent of Islam. Advent of Islam in 507 CE, an event took place that actually radically changed the course of the world history. Course of the world history, and took place in Mecca. What happened? Mecca, small town in Arabia. The event was the birth of a prophet Muhammad, and he was the founder of Islam. And Muhammad was an orphan at the very early age, and then he was brought up by his uncle, and he helped his uncle work. His uncle had a trading business and he helped him, and that is why he actually moved or traveled from one place to another place far and wide with the caravans. And during his travel he came in a contact with the Christians as well as the Jews, and he was impressed by their teachings as well as the belief and the practices. Next, the Arab at that time was divided into many tribes and were constantly at war with each other, and their lives were very hard, and they were very poor, because we know that that area is not agriculturally good. So next, they also very much superstitious. They believed or they worshipped many gods, and whose images were actually worshipped. As Muhammad grew older and he spent a lot of time in prayer, meditation, where? In the cave, in the mountains. So when he, around 610 CE, he had a vision of angel Gabriel, who revealed the God's divine message to Prophet Muhammad. And then Muhammad, the prophet, or he was the representative of God on earth, and there is only one God, that is Allah. And then a new religion that he founded, that was called Islam. And according to Islam, or Islam means submission. The followers of Islam, it was considered they will submit their will or wish in front of the Allah. And the teachings of Prophet Muhammad were recorded in a holy book of Islam called Quran. Next is Muhammad forbade the idol worship and stressed the importance of the good and kind behavior, and his teachings angered the rich merchants, rich Arabs, and Muhammad and his small bands of followers were actually forced to flee from Mecca to Medina, and that incident in history was popularly known as Hijrat, and that was took place when in 622 CE, or Common Era. And from that time onward, the Islamic calendar also started, and that is known as Hijri. Islamic calendar is known as Hijri. Next, within 10 years, so Medina's peoples welcomed the Prophet Muhammad and his followers, and within 10 years he had won the support of the peoples, and considerable support of different actually in Medina and the other parts. Next is his supporters, including a small but devoted army. They were ready to sacrifice their life for the sake of Islam. For the sake of Islam. Next is Muhammad returned to Mecca and defeated the enemies, rich Arabs, and the people of Mecca also eventually adopted the Islamic faith of Muhammad, or Islam. And this way, both Mecca and Medina became the holy places for the Islamic people or the Muslim. Now we will discuss next the main principles or the pillars of Islam. That there are main 5 principles, but another one here in your book given the 6 principles. Number 1, there is only one God, Allah, and Muhammad is a prophet. Next, number two. Number two, Muslim must say their prayer 5 times in a day. Next, number two. Number three, they must fast from dawn to dusk during the month of Ramzan. Next is number four. Number four, they must help and the poor and the needy give away some parts of their income. Next is number five. Number five, they must make a pilgrimage at least once in their lifetime. Where? In Mecca. Next is number six. Number six, they must be good and kind towards the other. That means other people. Now next, Muhammad died in 632 CE or Common Era. 632 Common Era. And by which time all of Arabia had converted to Islam, and after Muhammad's death, his trusted friend and the followers Abu Bakr became the next, the Islamic head. And he assumed the title Khalifa or Khalif. Next, the Khalif was the title given to the head of the Islam or Islam Muslim community, and he became the religious as well as the political head of the people. Next is the spread of Islam. Next, we will discuss about the spread of Islam. So, Abu Bakr mobilized and transformed the Arab into an excellent force or excellent army that he and his successor inspired the Arab armies to sweep across or spread the message of Islam to different countries and different continents. They carried the words of Islam throughout the world, and due to by their missionary zeal and this invincible and extraordinary Arab armies able to conquer the vast territories in different parts of the world, they established or their power in different parts like or spread like Iran, Syria, then Central Asia as well as North Africa as well as in Spain. Now next is the after conquer such expensive territories. So these Tau and the hardened warriors, they actually settled down and adapted a new way of life, and they built a fine cities like Damascus, Baghdad, Cairo, etc. And where they encouraged the agriculture, industry, trade, and that actually helped them to develop a magnificent and a vibrant civilization. Next we will discuss about the two dynasty that was popular at that time in Arab. One is the Abbasid, another one is Umayyad dynasty. So first is the greatest intellectual and the cultural excellence was seen during the reign of Abbasid period or Abbasid caliphs. So the Umayyad caliphs who preceded the Abbasids and established their capital Damascus, but the Abbasid shipped their capital from Damascus to Baghdad. That is actually modern day capital of Iraq. For next 150 years, the Arab Empire under the rule of Abbasids that emerged as one of the enlightened region in the world. And the Arab absorbed and assimilated the best elements, best principles, best culture, best ideas, skills, etc. of the other civilizations. Next is Muhammad had advised the Arab to pursue the learning, and one of the Abbasid Caliph established the House of Wisdom where at Baghdad. That means that translated the writings of other civilizations to Arabic like Greek, Byzantine, Egyptian, Chinese, Indian, and so that is why in this way Baghdad became a repository and the preserve of the rich cultural heritage of the ancient world. Next is the India and the Arab. India and Arab. So what was the relations between the India and Arab at that time? But the Arab established the several trading settlements on the western parts or western coast of India. And many of them were actually intermarried and made India their home. Not only that, but the Indian traders used the Arabian merchants' ship to export the Indian goods were in western world. Next is in exchange Indian muslin as well as the paper, indigo, and the Arab brought with them what the luxurious item as well as the fine Arabian horses, etc. Next is Islam spread to the Southeast Asia through the traders, and old Hindu kingdoms were in Malaysia as well as in Indonesia were also destroyed by the Islamic people or Muslim dynasty. Next is India. India also influenced by the Islam, and that process was started by the Muhammad bin Qasim. Muhammad bin Qasim in 712 CE, he actually defeated the ruler of Sindh and occupied the entire province. But that procedure didn't proceed for further. Why? Because that procedure was ended with the death of Muhammad bin Qasim. Next is the Arab could not spread their influence of the other parts of India because the Rajputs were also so strong, because we know that Rajputs were the warrior groups. So next is the spirit of exclusiveness among the Hindus and the Hindus that made them to reject the foreign culture, their traditions and influence, as well as according to Al-Biruni that Hindus believe that no other countries or on the earth have so much quality or knowledge like the Indians or Hindus. So that is why they were not kind of receptive. But other hand, the Arabic peoples were actually receptive and they learned many things from India and enriched their civilization and the culture. Next is the Arab. On the other hand, just now I said they were the receptive, so that is why they learned a great deals from the ancient Indian civilization like the medicines, mathematics, as well as the astronomy, philosophy, and the art of the administration, and that enriched their culture as well as civilization. Next is the Turks. By the 9th century, the powerful caliphs that declined and the Arab Empire was split into the two number of independent kingdoms, and the two important kingdom was Ghazni and another one Ghor. Ghazni and Ghor, and these Turks were originally nomadics, and they adopted the Islam as their religion, and later they established or introduced Islam in India. Thank you, student. I hope if you see this video carefully, you will understand. Okay, that's it. So see you on next class with the next chapter or another one topic. Thank you.